Hi there, and in this first video I'm going to reveal to you what addiction is, how we define addiction. So addiction is taking a substance to soothe a pain or trauma temporarily, regardless of the consequences, and being powerless to do anything about it. We sort of take the drink and we can't not take the drink. That's addiction. So why is it that some people become addicted to alcohol and can't moderate it, and those other people that can moderate alcohol, the weirdos that go to the pub and have like one or two drinks and then get home with no problems at all? What separates those people? Have you ever wondered what separates an alcoholic from somebody that can have two or three drinks on a Saturday night and get home just fine, no problems? Well, what causes addiction is what we experience. What we have experienced up until now, because we have vastly different experiences from the get-go. Even before we're born, we have a sense of our environment. We're in this warm little sort of bubble, cocoon, whatever, and we have a sense, our brain's already detecting what's happening in our external environment, not just in terms of the mother's body, but in her environment. And we don't always get dealt a fair hand, so to speak, and some people are born into a loving, abundant, large house with loving parents, and those parents have good values. They don't have any addiction problems themselves. We grow up in a nice area, go to a good school, develop good friends with other kids that are good kids, that have good values, good beliefs. And the flip side of that is that we can be born into absolute poverty, misery, and have a terrible time. But here's the thing, right? Even if you're born into a household that, parents got plenty of cash, they've got time for you, all of the good stuff, we can still experience addiction. Because the things that often affect us the most and drive our addiction can be things that we didn't even realise happened to us. They can also be horrific, nasty, memorable things, but more often than not, they're subtle things that we didn't realise at a young age when our brains were still forming. And, I'll take one for the team here and reveal what one of mine was. I had a parent, my dad in particular, who took no interest in any of his children. I was big into cycling, BMXing, camping, football, fishing. My dad never even kicked a ball around with us when we were young. He took on 3 allotments, vegetable patches from the council, and every evening during the week he'd disappear to the allotments, and every weekend he'd disappear away to the allotments. He just had no interest in spending time with us, which you might be thinking, well, that's not particularly traumatic, Dan. And I'd agree, it's not. It didn't even pick up on it at the time. It was only later on did I discover this through testing, that I got to the root cause of my problem, something I'll be sharing with you in the next video. But the way that translates in a child's mind is, because children always believe it's about themselves, they always think they're the problem. So, a parent, just a minor problem like a parent being too busy to give the child the love and affection that they crave, in the child's mind, that creates the belief that I'm bad. There must be something wrong with me. I'm not worthy. I'm not enough. And that happens at a subconscious level, which is why it's such a powerful driving force. So what happens when we experience the trauma at a young age. And trauma doesn't have to be anything extreme or memorable like you'd maybe see on like TV shows where rushing somebody into the trauma room. It can just be subtle stuff that we didn't even realise happened to us. But that stuff manifests itself into the subconscious mind, and what I'll do in the next video is I'll reveal to you why the subconscious mind is the solution to our problems. It's what got us into this mess, but it's also what can get us out of this mess. So check out the next video on the subconscious mind and alcohol addiction. See you in the next video. Until then, take care.